By signing a piece of paper, we added $800,000 to $1 million of value with no investment from the owner. Hi, I'm Andrew Wright, Principal of Professional Southport, and this is the Andrew Wright Property Podcast. I've built a multi-million-dollar property portfolio, delivering a seven-figure annual rental income, and led my real estate team through thousands of sale and lease transactions. In each episode, I share real deals and strategies that will help you find, fund, and operate profitable property deals. The aim of this show is to provide education and build a community of like-minded investors who can collaborate, share insights, and help each other in each other's journeys. You can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't do both. So come and join us.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Andrew Wright Property Podcast. Today we're unpacking a simple but powerful play. Add a billboard, add value. On a busy Upper Mount Gravatt site, Andrew negotiated a 10-year plus 10-year rooftop billboard lease at roughly $50,000 a year indexed to CPI and lifted the building's value by about $800K with zero owner investment. I can't wait to break this one down. Andrew, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, mate. Long time no see.
Yeah. All right. This is another one. It's got me interested already. It's all about a billboard, isn't it? So you're always being innovative with what you're looking at. So talk me through where this one all started. Of course, because we all know, first of all, you look at every single commercial opportunity that comes out.
Yeah, well, this
you?
one wasn't actually mine. So this one was a client's, Adam.
Okay.
So I don't own this site. It was an owner who appointed me to sell the property in 2017, and we had a price on the property of $10 million, offers over $10 million, and I actually had that one under contract at $10 million, cash offer. Wasn't under contract, but a contract was agreed to. And unfortunately for me, another agent went to the seller at the time and said, I can get you $11 million for that, so I don't sign it. And I lost that deal because another agent told the seller that
he could
get more money for him, and I lost the deal.
Wow.
So that's how I started with that owner. Unfortunately, I got him a great price, and another agent killed the deal.
Right. So is that with the property with the billboard?
It didn't have a billboard at that time, but that's the site.
That's the site. So he went with another agent.
Yeah, he sacked me after my exclusive had expired with taking the advice of the other agent. He gave that other agent the job to sell it because the other agent told him he'd get him 11.
Right.
And of course he never
That was
did.
my next question.
No,
what did he get him?
Nothing.
So didn't sell it?
No, he didn't sell it.
Okay. So his exclusivity period ends.
Yeah.
We're now looking at sort of something that's a little stale.
Yeah, well, he took it off the market, and we're not going to do a podcast on real estate agent ethics here because that's something I don't want to cover, but I could probably do a fairly lengthy one. But anyway, what happened was a couple of years later, that owner came back to me and said, look, Andrew, I should have trusted you. I should have trusted your judgment. I'm also having problems with my property managers. We've got 3 empty offices out of 10 in this building. Will you take over the management for me? Yep. And I said, sure, I'd be delighted to.
Great.
And that's how I rekindled that relationship with that client.
Okay. So what happens from there? You take over the property management.
Took over the property management.
You've got 3 spaces to lease.
Yeah. So I was blown away. I actually couldn't even find that they'd been advertised online. There was no for lease signs on the property. The overseas owner obviously wasn't aware of that, but I saw an opportunity to add value, and very quickly, over about 6 months, I ended up leasing those 3 empty offices and added about another $150,000 of rent for the owner just by renting those 3 empty offices.
Right. And so you feel as though just beforehand, whoever had that in place earlier just wasn't doing it.
I don't know the history. I don't know whether maybe they had some staff turnover and someone dropped the ball there, but the owner came to me because he wasn't getting much communication about it, and maybe they were having some staff problems at the time. I don't know, and I'm not here to
Tell
to
me
sledge any other firm.
Tell me, no, of course not.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about the asset there. What sort of building was it? Where was it located?
Yeah, look,
obviously
it's
on a main road in Mount Gravatt.
Yeah, about 2,000 square metre site right on a really, really busy corner opposite the Mount Gravatt. I think it used to be called the Garden City Shopping Centre,
Okay.
Westfield or whatever it is.
What's the road?
Mount Gravatt Capalaba Road
Right.
and Logan Road, right on the
Okay.
corner on the junction.
So and still there now.
Still there now, yeah.
Anyone there? So you've come in. You've uplifted his rent by 150K just by filling. What sort of tenants were they?
I had a migration and education / visa company take two of the tenancies. We combined two of the offices into one, and we had another migration company take on level 2 one of the empty offices. During that time, that whole time, I was also liaising with the lawyers of the owner and trying to finalise an additional tenant on the roof. And this is what the podcast is about, is as well as adding that 150 grand of rent with the empty offices that we leased. Over the period of another 12 months or so, we ended up getting council approval to build a billboard on the roof. And that's what substantially increased the profit of the building for the owner.
What gave you that idea? How do you come up with that? Obviously, no one, what led you to thinking about that as being a potential?
Look, there's no real genius from my side of things. I actually inherited the opportunity. The previous property manager had instigated it, so they'd been approached by a billboard company. Billboard companies know what sort of traffic counts pass sites at any point in time. They'll Google how many cars go past here on a daily basis, and they know that busy sites like that where there's a set of traffic lights and cars stop, there's a long, what they call it, a dwell time. There's a long dwell time where people can sit in their cars and actually look at the billboard. So sites like that
with traffic lights,
they're hunted by the billboard companies. So I basically continued the negotiations. It wasn't my idea. I basically inherited it, followed through with the lawyers and the council over a period of another 12 months and got the deal done.
Wow. Okay. So what does that then mean? Talk me through numbers. So you get the approval.
Well, the first thing is that there's no investment from the owner. So part of the deal is that the billboard company spend their own money jumping on the roof, paying whatever the council application fees are and actually building the thing.
Right.
Zero investment from the owner.
Okay, so the billboard company does all of that.
And they pay for the legal fees for the new lease. There's absolutely no investment from the owner whatsoever. So those, you could call them air rights above the roof of the building that you'd never expect to make money from, that income from the digital billboard is straight to the profit of the building. So it's an extra 50 grand a year index for life, or for 20 years anyway, straight to the profit of the...
So it was a 20-year lease?
It's a 10-year lease and a 10-year option.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
So it's just money for jam profit.
Money for jam. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And and they didn't have to pay a cent?
Not a cent for it. Now, from a capital point of view, the cash flow wise, it's money for jam, extra 50 grand indexed to CPI profit. But when a valuer values the site...
That was my next question.
Yeah. I mean, at a 5% cap rate, if someone's looking for a 5% return from a prime blue chip commercial property, an extra 50 grand of rent is equal to $1 million of value. At 6%, it's probably an extra 800,000 of value. So depending on what the market will pay, it's a fairly substantial capital appreciation, forced capital uplift from that extra 50 grand a year rent.
You've got to have a pretty happy client right now.
Very happy.
Wow.
Very happy.
Did he know about the start with the previous property managers?
Yes.
And he did want you to continue that through?
Yes, that's right.
Did he know the potential of what it
Yeah, he knew. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, people who own a $10 million commercial property with no bank loans, they're sophisticated, reasonably sophisticated investors. Yeah, so one of the mistakes that I made on that one, because it was my first experience dealing with that type of value add, is there were long delays with the council actually approving that. So councils obviously don't want lots of digital billboards in built-up areas because people might start looking off the road, and
Yep.
it could cause accidents. So it's actually not that easy to get approvals for that type of thing. So it actually did draw out for quite a long time. And during that time, market rents actually increased. And had I had my time over again with a bit more experience in that asset class, I would have negotiated a much higher rent. And I've got a mate of mine who owns one on the Gold Coast here, and he's getting well over $100,000 a year for a similar digital billboard on his property.
Right. So bit of hindsight there.
Yeah.
Could have been worth a bit more.
Could have been worth a lot more.
But look, again, what a return for no
Yeah.
outlay whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is this something now, I mean, what did you learn as a property investor yourself, having done this for a client in your role as a real estate agent? Is this now something, that's something that's, you wouldn't get that many sites with that particular uplift in value for that. But did that open your mind to thinking a bit more outside the square?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, look, I'm always looking for opportunities now. In fact, I've been searching to buy another site where I can do that for myself, buy a site and maybe over a period of a couple of years get approval for a digital billboard, increase the income and try and value add for myself in my journey. I haven't done one yet. I've been looking, but it's very, very difficult now to find the right sort of site.
Sure.
None of them, in general, I'm not sure if this is 100% correct, but I don't believe that any residentially zoned properties will get council approval for a digital marketing billboard. So it has to be of some sort of commercial zoning.
Is that something you could work with the billboard companies on?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been on the phone to them saying, "Oh, if you find any sites where you want to put it, let me know. I'll buy the land for you."
The land for you. Yeah. That was my first instinct.
Yeah,
well.
I've been on the phone there already planting seeds. So.
Right. So, what a very cool idea. So, other than the delay with it, were there any issues with this entire process?
Oh, look, one minor issue. The tenancy below the billboard had a few water leaks from, when the installation of the big billboard. It created a few holes in the old roof, and there was a few ceiling tiles we had to replace and fix up a couple of holes in the roof from the. But the billboard company arranged that at their expense. They fixed up those defects after we had a couple of water leak issues.
Sure. So what are the takeaways for our listeners in this particular deal?
Always look to try and increase the net operating income of your commercial property, because not only does it affect your bottom line from a profitability point of view, but it can massively affect the capital value of your asset.
Absolutely, and this is just one example.
Just one example, yeah.
But there would be a lot of things out there.
There's plenty of other opportunities out there to add value.
As we talked about in an earlier episode, it's the highest and best use, isn't it? So
exactly.
And this is a great example of where that was found. And Rami, just finish off again with those numbers. It added how much in overall?
Well, we don't know because it hasn't sold, but. If someone valued $50,000 a year, if someone wanted a 5% return on their money, they'd be happy to pay $1 million for that. If they're looking for 6%, 6% of 800 grand would be 48 grand a year. So it's got to be worth $800 to $1 million of value that I've created, or we have created for that owner, and it cost him nothing.
Yep. So for the YouTube viewers, there have been pictures put up of this site. Look, there's probably a lot of listeners who drive past it every day and have a look at that billboard. So that was Andrew's doing, and look, a great example of where turning some space that it was effectively air into potentially $1 million worth of value.
Absolutely.
And $50K a year. Yep. What a great story.
Great story.
Andrew, thanks so much for sharing that with us. And again, just a reminder, if you are enjoying this podcast, please do hit follow. It's how we get brought up in other people's searches for property podcasts. Share it with a friend. Give us a rating. Give us a like. It all helps. And of course, Andrew's contact details are there in the show notes. This is about, we want to hear from you. We want to know who's out there. We want to know who wants to join this community, who wants to collaborate, who wants to talk, and who wants to share insights around property investment. So please do reach out. And Andrew, thanks once again. I look forward to catching on the next episode.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. Thanks for listening to the Andrew Wright Property Podcast. This is all about building a community of like-minded investors who can share real-life stories, experiences, and collaborate with a view to helping each other. Join us. Get in touch through the link in the show notes. I look forward to you joining me on the next episode.